The camera sweeps across marble floors polished so bright you can see reflections. Designer shoes clack against the surface. Teenage laughter fills the air. In the middle of the noise, Grace Johnson, a black woman in her late 30s, kneels quietly, her mop gliding across the floor. Her uniform is worn but neat, her posture upright, her dignity intact. At her side, a small figure, Ava, 11, leans against the wall, her nose buried in a battered notebook. She hums softly, lost in numbers, her pencil scribbling out equations no one her age should even understand. Down the hall struts Ethan Whitmore, 14. Perfect haircut. Custom blazer. Son of billionaire Victor Whitmore. He is surrounded by boys who orbit him like planets around the sun. He spins a soda can in his palm. Watch this. He lets the can slip, rolling it across the spotless floor. It spills, a trail of sticky cola spreading across Grace's freshly cleaned tiles. Grace sighs, moves forward, mop steady. But Ethan isn't done. He steps forward, and with one sharp kick, splashes the soda directly onto her uniform. The hallway explodes with laughter. Grace freezes. Her dark eyes lift, locking with his. She does not speak. She simply straightens, wiping her sleeve with slow dignity. Ava jumps up, fumbling tissues from her bag, dabbing at her mother's arm. It's okay, Mama. Don't cry. The laughter grows louder. Ethan crouches slightly, staring Ava down. That's what happens when you don't know your place. The sound cuts to silence. The camera holds on Ava's wide, tear-filled eyes. If you've ever been humiliated for who you are, this story is for you. Crystal chandeliers dangle above a dining table longer than most living rooms. Silver cutlery glistens. At one end sits Victor Whitmore, 55, tall, powerful, a man who built an empire and commands every room he enters. At the other end, slouched, scrolling on his phone, is Ethan. Ethan. Sit up. You represent this family everywhere you go. Ethan doesn't look up. Dad, everyone already knows who we are. Victor lowers his newspaper. Respect is not given. It's earned. Ethan snorts. Easy for you to say. You already bought respect. Victor's jaw tightens. He wants to argue, but he doesn't. He sips his coffee instead. A flicker of unease passes his eyes. The space is cramped. The paint is chipped. But it is spotless. Grace stirs a pot of rice and beans on a small stove. Ava sits at the table, hunched over a notebook. Numbers cover the page. Her tongue pokes out as she scribbles furiously. Slow down, baby. You'll tear through that paper. If x equals 7, the sequence breaks. It has to be 9. See? Grace chuckles softly, shaking her head. She sets a plate before her daughter, watching her brilliance with awe and worry. Her eyes drift to a stack of bills on the counter, overdue notices. She looks away, forcing a smile. One day, you'll have the world. Grace empties bins in the back of the room. Ava sits at her desk, pencil in hand. On the board, the teacher scribbles a complex math equation. Silence. Then, Ava raises her hand. Yes, Ava. She rises shyly, steps to the board. The chalk dances. In seconds, the equation is solved. The class stares. From the back, Ethan snorts. Wow. The janitor's kid thinks she's Einstein now. The class bursts into laughter. Ava's hand trembles, chalk smudging the board. Grace's hand stills on the bin bag. Her back stiffens. But she says nothing. That will do, Ava. Good work. Ava lowers her eyes, walking back to her seat. Better stick to mopping floors like your mom. The laughter swells again. Ava's shoulders shrink. Grace blinks hard, swallowing her pride. Ethan lounges with friends, bouncing a basketball. Ava walks past, hugging her notebook. Hey, Einstein. Wanna prove you're smart again? Ava freezes. Tomorrow. Assembly. You and me. We'll let everyone see who's really better. Unless, you're scared. The crowd jeers. Ava swallows hard. Grace appears with her mop bucket, noticing her daughter's trembling hands. She kneels, voice calm but firm. Baby, it's not about winning or losing. It's about standing. If you stand, no one can knock you down. Ava meets her mother's eyes. Strength replaces fear. She turns back to Ethan. Fine. Tomorrow. The courtyard erupts. Ethan smirks. Don't say I didn't warn you. Banners hang. Wealthy donors sip champagne. Victor Whitmore shakes hands with the principal. Grace wheels her cart silently in the back, stacking chairs. Victor glances her way. His eyes linger, not with disdain, but with curiosity. She works with a grace that seems out of place in this world of arrogance. The Whitmore family's generosity makes all this possible. We are indebted. Victor nods, but his gaze stays fixed on Grace, wiping tables with quiet dignity. The school gathers. The stage is set. On one side, Ethan, smirking, confident. On the other, Ava, small, steady, gripping her notebook. The principal announces the challenge, quick-fire logic and math puzzles. The first question flashes. Ava's hand shoots up first. Correct. Applause. Second question. Again, Ava answers. Correct. Ethan stares, shaken. Final question, the hardest. Ethan blurts an answer. Wrong. The crowd laughs. His face reddens. The principal turns to Ava. Do you have an answer? Ava stands, heart pounding. The entire auditorium holds its breath. She opens her mouth. Yes. The answer is. All eyes are on Ava. Her small frame seems to tremble, but her voice is clear. The answer is, -243. The screen lights up. Correct. A hush. Then thunderous applause. The students erupt, some even standing. Teachers exchange astonished looks. Ethan's face goes pale. His jaw locks. Grace, at the back of the hall, clutches her hands to her chest. Her eyes glisten. The principal beams. Correct. Extraordinary work, Ava Johnson. A chant starts quietly in the back rows. Ava, Ava, Ava. Ethan stares at the floor. For the first time, the boy who owned every room finds himself invisible. After the assembly, the crowd spills into the courtyard. Ava walks beside Grace, both carrying Ava's battered notebook. From behind, Ethan storms forward, flanked by friends. You think this means anything? You embarrassed me. Ava stops, clutching the notebook tighter. Grace steps between them, her voice calm. Walk away, Ethan. He sneers. One lucky guess doesn't make her smart. She's still the cleaner's kid. Grace's jaw tightens. Ava stares down, silent. Ethan's friends chuckle uneasily. For once, even they sense he's gone too far. Victor pours himself a drink. His phone buzzes. A message from the principal, extraordinary performance today by Grace Johnson's daughter. You'd be proud if she were yours. Victor leans back, frowning. He recalls the cleaner, quiet, steady, with eyes that carried storms behind them. He remembers Ava's voice, unwavering before hundreds. Victor mutters to himself. Johnson. Why does that name sound familiar? Grace sits at the table, head in her hands. Ava sleeps in the next room, her face illuminated by the glow of a small lamp, chess pieces scattered around her. Bills cover the table. Grace pulls out an envelope. Inside, an old college ID card. It reads, Grace Johnson, engineering major. Her thumb rubs across the faded photo. I was supposed to finish. She slips it back into the envelope, sighing. She looks at Ava. Everything I couldn't be, you will be. Ethan throws his basketball against the wall, pacing. His phone buzzes with social media notifications. Clips of Ava's victory circulate. Comments flood in. Cleaner's kid beat the billionaire's son. Brains over money. He smashes his phone onto the bed. She made me a joke. She won't get away with it. He stares into the mirror. His reflection mocks him. He punches the glass, a crack splinters across. Grace mops quietly, the hall's empty. Footsteps echo. She turns. Victor Whitmore stands there, sharp suit, expression unreadable. Grace straightens, guarded. Evening, sir. Victor nods. That daughter of yours. She's remarkable. Grace offers no smile, only a nod. She works hard. Victor notices a book tucked under her cart, an old engineering mechanics textbook. He picks it up. This isn't light reading. Grace's face tightens. She reaches to take it back. It's mine. Victor studies her. Something clicks in his memory. Grace Johnson. You studied at State University. Engineering. Top of your class. Until, you disappeared. Grace's hand trembles slightly as she grips the book. She doesn't answer. Victor's voice softens. Why are you here, Grace? Why are you cleaning floors instead of building bridges? Grace's eyes glisten. She opens her mouth. Grace and Victor stand in the dim hallway. The engineering textbook rests in Victor's hand. Grace exhales slowly, finally speaking. I was on track to graduate. Top of my class. Then my mother got sick. Cancer. I dropped everything to take care of her. When she passed, bills swallowed us. I never went back. Victor studies her quietly, almost ashamed. Life doesn't always bend to ambition, Mr. Whitmore. Some of us, we don't have the luxury of finishing dreams. Victor hands the book back, his expression heavy. And now your daughter carries those dreams. Grace nods, her voice trembling just slightly. She doesn't carry my dreams. She carries her own. Ethan scrolls through his phone. Videos of Ava's victory fill his feed. Comments sting like knives. Cleaner's kid beats billionaire's son. Brains over money. His face twists. He slams the phone onto his desk, pacing. They think she's better than me. Me. He glares at the reflection in his cracked mirror. I'll make sure she never embarrasses me again. He grabs a notebook, furiously scribbling strategies, not to learn, but to scheme. The principal stands on stage, addressing students. Banners hang, Founders Day competition, excellence in honor. This year, students will compete in a test of skill and intellect. The winner will earn not only a scholarship donation to a cause of their choice, but the respect of this academy. The crowd murmurs excitedly. Ethan's eyes dart toward Ava. He smirks. This time, no mistakes. Grace, standing at the back, clutches her mop handle tighter. Ava studies quietly, her worn chessboard spread across the table. She practices puzzles, her brow furrowed in concentration. Grace watches, exhaustion on her face but pride in her eyes. Baby, don't push too hard. I'm not tired. When I play, it feels like I can see the future. Grace leans down, kissing her forehead. And you will, my love. A future brighter than mine. Ethan's preparation looks different. Tutors crowd around him. His father provides resources, but Ethan ignores lessons, obsessed with beating Ava, not learning. He tears pages from textbooks, muttering. She won't win again. She can't. Victor watches silently from the doorway, unease clouding his face. The Founders' Day event is in full swing. Parents, donors, and media fill the seats. Cameras flash. The contestants sit on stage. At one end, Ava sits calm, clutching her old notebook. At the other, Ethan bounces his leg, eyes burning. Grace slips into the back row, hands clasped tight. Let the competition begin. First round, Ethan wins narrowly, smirking. Ava nods, unshaken. Second round, Ava outmaneuvers him effortlessly. The crowd whispers. Ethan clenches his jaw. Third round, Ava versus Ethan face-off. The scoreboard is tied. The final round will decide everything. Grace whispers under her breath. Stand tall, baby. Just stand. Spotlights blaze. Silence falls. The final round begins. The moderator announces. For the final, each contestant will solve the master problem live on stage. A complex equation appears on the big screen. The crowd gasps. Even some teachers murmur. Ethan grips his pencil. Ava breathes slowly, eyes calm. The timer starts. The room erupts. Parents gasp, students shout. Ethan clutches Ava's torn page, his chest heaving. Ava stares, stunned, her small hands frozen in midair. Grace pushes through the crowd, her voice breaking. Ava. Teachers rush forward. The moderator shouts. Stop this. Ethan Whitmore, sit down immediately. Ethan's face is red, a storm of shame and fury. He points at Ava. She's not special. She's nothing. She only looks smart because you let her cheat. Gasps ripple. Ava's lips tremble. Tears well in her eyes. Grace reaches the edge of the stage, her voice steady now. Baby, stand. Don't let him take your voice. The crowd quiets. Ava inhales, wipes her face. Slowly, she walks to the blackboard. With trembling hands, she picks up the chalk. Ethan watches, fists clenched, as Ava redraws the problem line by line. The auditorium falls silent. All you hear is the chalk scratching across the board. Ava doesn't rush. She breathes between steps. Grace whispers from the audience. One breath at a time, baby. Step by step, Ava rebuilds the entire equation from memory. Her small frame seems to grow with each line. Finally, she circles the answer, -243. The board glows under the spotlight. The moderator's voice shakes. Correct. Ava Johnson, correct. The room explodes. Students leap to their feet, cheering. Teachers applaud. Even donors in the back whisper in astonishment. Victor Whitmore, seated front row, stares, not at the board, but at Ava. Something shifts in his eyes. Ethan stumbles back, his smirk gone. The applause feels like thunder crashing on his chest. No, this isn't how it's supposed to be. He looks into the crowd, but instead of admiration, he sees disappointment. Whispers. Pity. His father's gaze pierces him, not angry, not proud, but disappointed. Ethan's chest caves. His breath quickens. For the first time, he feels truly small. He drops the torn notebook page to the floor. The moderator hands Ava the trophy. The crowd cheers louder. But Ava doesn't take it right away. She looks at Ethan. I don't hate you. I just wanted to play fair. The crowd quiets. Ethan stares at her, speechless. Tears sting his eyes. He turns slowly to Grace, who stands by the stage. Their eyes meet. Her look is steady, not cruel, but unflinching. Ethan's shoulders sag. "I'm sorry." It's barely audible, but the entire room hears. The crowd gasps. Some even clap. Victor closes his eyes, exhaling heavily. Victor rises, stepping onto the stage. His presence hushes the room instantly. He takes the microphone. "Today, a lesson was taught. Not just to my son. To me. To all of us." He looks at Ava, then at Grace. Respect is not bought. It is not inherited. It is earned, by those who carry dignity even when the world tries to strip it away. Applause swells. Grace's eyes glisten. Ava clutches her trophy. Victor turns to the principal. "From today forward, this academy will establish the facility's family scholarship, for the children of staff. So no child will ever be looked down upon for where their parents work." Gasps. Applause. Parents nod in approval. Victor looks at Grace. "And Ms. Johnson. I know what you gave up. If you'll allow it, I'd like to sponsor your return to school. Full tuition. Flexible hours. You deserve to finish what life interrupted." Grace covers her mouth, tears falling. "Thank you." Ethan wears a custodial vest, walking beside Grace with a mop bucket. His posture is humble, quiet. Grace shows him how to wring the mop. "It's not about cleaning floors, Ethan. It's about learning what it means to serve." Ethan nods, sweating, his face red, not with anger, but effort. Nearby, Ava coaches younger kids at chess club. She laughs freely, her confidence radiant. Victor watches from afar, pride softening his features. A new plaque glistens on the wall, "Facilities Family Scholarship, because respect builds futures." Grace stands before it, her hand resting on the medal. Ava holds her trophy beside her. Ethan lingers in the background, watching quietly, hands in his pockets. He approaches slowly. "I know an apology won't erase what I did. But I'll try to be better." Grace studies him, then nods once. Trying is where humility begins. Ethan swallows hard, then turns to Ava. "You deserve to win. Always." Ava smiles faintly. "Thanks." The three stand there, broken pride, quiet dignity, and rising hope, side by side. This billionaire's son thought he owned the world. But one black woman, with nothing but dignity and strength, taught him the truth. That respect costs nothing, but without it, even the richest man is poor. And that humility, once learned, is worth more than all the fortunes of the world. If you believe respect can change lives, share this story. Subscribe for more Black struggle and voices.